Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We are passionate about helping people with business and accounting. In today's video, I want to talk about the difference between an employee and a contractor. So if you're interested, keep on watching. Worker classification is really important because it determines if an employer has to withhold payroll taxes from a worker. There are two types of workers that I want to talk about. I want to talk about an employee and an independent contractor. Now, if you hire an employee, then you are responsible for withholding payroll taxes, and you as an employer pay employer taxes. If you hire an independent contractor, then you do not withhold payroll taxes. The independent contractor is responsible for paying their self-employment taxes. So you can see where a lot of businesses would gravitate towards hiring an independent contractor because they won't be responsible for the payroll taxes. Now, on the flip side, it is much more beneficial for a person to be hired in as an employee than an independent contractor if they're only working for one specific company, because they save on self-employment taxes. So how do you determine if a worker is an employee or an independent contractor? Well, the IRS says the general rule is that an individual is an independent contractor if the payer has the right to control or direct only the result of the work, not what will be done or how it will be done. Small businesses should consider all evidence of degree of control and independence in the employer-worker relationship. Whether a worker is an independent contractor or employee depends on the facts in each situation. So basically, the IRS says it's case by case. But they do provide three categories for us to consider. So the first one is behavioral control. So a worker is an employee in a business when the business has the right to direct and control performance of work, even if that right is not exercised. So even if you as the business owner control and direct the performance of the work, they could fall under the employee category, but there's more areas to consider. So here are the behavioral categories we need to look at. Giving the worker instructions on when and where to work, what tools to use, or where to purchase the supplies and services. The next one looks at the degree of instruction. So the more you control the performance of work, you could be getting into that employer-employee relationship. The next item to consider is evaluating the measure of detail that you have control over this performance of work. So if you're only interested in the end result, or are you dictating how something should be done? So let me give you an example. If you're a marketing agency and you hire someone to come in and do a lot of the graphic design for the business, if you're telling them what time they need to come into the office and exactly what software they need to use, providing a computer for them to use, then you're getting closer into the employee relationship rather than a contractor. The next behavioral category to consider is, are you training this individual? Are you training this individual to get the job done? So back to our marketing agency, if this person comes in and I sit with them for 4 hours and I am telling them, here's where you go, you click here, and I'm performing some level of training for this person, then is it really a contractor? Because in my opinion, a contractor should be able to come and sit down. I tell them exactly what I want done, and then they execute, producing the final result, which I will review. And if we have anything that needs to be changed, we'll do a quick change and we're done. The next category we need to look at is the financial control. So we just covered behavioral. Now let's look at financial. So a question you need to ask yourself is, does your business have a right to direct or control the financial and business aspects of the worker? So can you dictate if this person can take on other business or other job? Are you reimbursing this individual? Independent contractors are more likely to incur unreimbursed expenses. The next financial item to consider is the method of payment. If you're classifying this independent contractor in your payroll and paying wages expenses for either hourly, weekly, monthly pay, then you're moving over into employee relationship rather than contractor. Generally speaking, a contractor will issue you an invoice and then you as the business owner will pay them via check or whatever method that they choose. And then the last category to consider is relationship. Do you have a contract with this independent contractor that states the terms and conditions of the service that they're providing? But remember, just because you have a contract with this individual doesn't necessarily mean that they're an independent contractor. Another area to consider is benefits. Are you providing benefits to this person? Do they get sick leave, pay time off, things like that that generally an employee would benefit from? Now, relationship is very, very important. If there's an expectation that this relationship is going to continue on indefinitely, rather than for a project or a specific period in time, it can be perceived that you're now getting closer and closer into that employee status. So if you have someone in your organization that performs key activities in your business, then you could be getting into that employer-employee relationship. So now let's talk about the consequences of misclassifying an employee. So if you misclassify an employee as an independent contractor, then you are responsible for the employer taxes. If you want to read more on this topic, check out the IRS publication 1976, and it goes into detail on more of this information. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel. Give this video a like if you got value or learned something. Share it with a friend, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.